Hello, everyone. My name is Arvin Bautista. Welcome to Comics Rant. And it's going to be a short episode, but I kind of wanted to capture this for myself and to let you guys see what's going on. I love comic books. This channel is usually about reviewing comic books, and I love making them. To be honest with you, I love reading and I like making them. My dream is still to be a comic book artist. I am pushing 50. I'm like close to 50 and I'm still trying to catch that dream. I work in the video game industry and, I don't know if you guys know, but it's been kind of crazy, especially in the realm of art and, tech. All the AI stuff really is coming for my job. Literally. More so now than ever. So anyway, I'm freelancing currently. I have 2 contracts going on, but in between that, I'm also trying to get my comic book going. And of course, looking for other jobs outside of the industry. It has gotten that crazy. Don't worry. All of us will kind of land somewhere else. But it is kind of like crazy times right now. Anyway, what I'm doing now is a buddy of mine, Fernando. He has been doing this very local art oriented stuff, like mainly. I think he started doing it a little before COVID and he's still going and it's great. So he has a channel on YouTube called Art of the Bay and he did a series of interviews of local artists and I was one of them. I was very honored that he tapped into me and he actually interviewed me. We had a great old time. Talking shop and all that kind of stuff. We used to work at Zynga together. And he has still been going. I guess this is also his dream. He's been pushing that idea in all sorts of avenues. So it's great. So he actually has interviews with our local artists, but he's also done, kind of like documentary style things where he's kind of, there's an episode, I think, of like an area in Oakland. So it's very, very local. And if I haven't said local enough, I'm going to say it again. And it's really great, and I feel really honored that he would remember me and tap into me. We worked on a project together for this running club in, Hayward, which is kind of like around where he's based, I think. And now he's actually opened a shop with a few friends called Cassa Jam. So you can see it right here. Cassa Jam. This is their logo. They have an Instagram account. You can go follow them. I'm not sure if he set up a YouTube. I'm sure he'll do an Art of the Bay feature on this. But this is his focus currently. And he called me and he texted me. Nobody talks on the phone anymore. He texted me and he said, "Hey, I saw that you did like this indie comics thing. Could I order like a few copies from you of this specific book?" And I said, "Okay, awesome, man." And I could give it to him for a better price so he could resell it into his storefront. And so while I was doing that, I was like, well, why don't I just throw in this special Cassa Jam edition on the cover? And he loved it. I didn't tell him until like I printed it out and this is all like through my printer at home. So it's all hand printed. This was my proposal. This comic book started out as a proposal to my wife, in comic book format. And so it's like us as superheroes doing superhero-y things, but me really trying to muster up the courage to ask her to marry me. So the original book was only like 4 pages and it's kind of grown because, we got married. And so, all this art that I have that I've been generating before, and also when we have been married, had a kid, all that kind of stuff. So it's in this book. It's like 18 pages, something like that, 16, 18 pages. And I kind of made it into a comic book. I strung it along into a longer narrative and, I have more ideas for more stories with these characters. But, this is us in superhero format. And so it started out as this comic book disguised as rockets and ninjas. And so this was the logo that used to be here. But it kind of, now that I've proposed, the surprise is not necessary. So now I've named it Holy Matrimony #1. And, what's funny is, I forget if it was like an older friend, but he said, that this reference is lost to today's generation because they didn't really watch Batman. What was it? The 60s Batman, 70s Batman. So, where Robin always says, holy hot leads, Batman, holy Polaris, holy, holy I'm not sure if he said holy moly, but holy whatever was the gag of that show. It was a cheesy take on Batman. It was very self-aware that way. So anyway, holy matrimony seemed to make sense. It was a perfect fit. Anyway, so that's the comic. I made this Cassa Jam thing. And then I'm ready to submit to him. I printed out 12 copies of this. That's what he wanted to order. I've been trying to shop this around to local bookstores. I am cheap. So even trying to shop it around the publishers takes so much time, and it's hard, right? Like publishers and agents, they see everybody's artwork. They have a ton of submissions, and nobody really responds to any of this stuff. So I thought I can start local. San Francisco, I'm in the Bay Area, is one of the best places that supports indie publishing. And I don't know why that didn't snap into my head. I think I just showed this to you guys. Anyway, I've been trying to shop around locally. I kind of stopped after I came back from a trip that my family and I took to Japan. More episodes about that. But anyway, long story short, I've been working on my stuff again, which is great. And since I put this logo on here, make it special for Fernando, I kind of was like, I need to up my game, right? This is 12 issues. It's probably going to sell for $8, right? It's an indie book. That's how it goes, right? It's kind of hard for us to make money. The store has to make money. So I was like, well, I can't add more pages, right? I don't have time to do comics, but I can draw. I can draw. So then I started making these. I always love bookmarks. I read comics with my kids, and I always am looking for a bookmark. We borrow a ton of manga, and you'll see them in some of the episodes. Borrow a ton of manga, and we're always in the middle of the book. And my kids love to reread books and be in the middle of all the books they've reread. So there's 5 million books in the house that are kind of flopped. They're kind of folded, put down like this so they can keep their place. And I'm always like, why don't you find a bookmark? So anyway, long story short, this is Comics Red. Bookmarks are great. So I've been doing these sketch marks, I like to call them. They're just these ink sketches of my characters in these smaller, bite-sized pieces of paper that act as bookmarks, and it's actually easier for me to generate. So that's what I've been doing now. So I kind of have all these drawings of us, the characters, as well as other things. It's interesting. I'll run you guys through it, but this is the last sheet that I did. And now I have some of the bad guys are in here too. A couple of the bad guys, but mostly it's me and my wife, our characters. Okay. So let's put that aside, and here's the process stuff. So I started, where did I start? I think this was the first one. Cause I just came back from Japan. I got these awesome pens. We're going to go off tangent here, cause these pens are rock, and it's cheap in Japan. And everybody always romanticizes a foreign country because, vacation time, you don't understand anybody. You don't really know the politics of the place. You're not really that invested into who's the mayor, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. You're just there to have a good time. And good time we had in Japan. And the pens are so cheap and so numerous. Here, let me just bust out my pile here. That I would spend hours trying to look for stationery. I kind of totally overloaded on pens. But, I also met this other guy on my trip that was so into just doing stuff traditionally. And so he kind of jazzed me up to look for these pens, and these are cheap. They're I think it was less than $1 for, not these Sumi brushes, but these kind of pens were less than $1. I think they may have been even in the 70 cents categories. They were on sale. These gold, these are face paint pens. I don't know where my kids got this. Face paint pens, but refills for this, it's 145 yen. And then I think the conversion, how much was the conversion? It was almost like less than $1 for 100 yen. So this is like $2. Not even. Right? This is less than $2. It's kind of crazy. So these are refills, colored ink refills for my favorite Sumi pens. Awesome. So anyway, I bought all this stuff. So I kind of busted them all out. And I would have colored in some of these bookmarks, but these colors just were, I kind of went a little wild, as you can see, with my color choices here. They didn't quite fit what I was drawing, so I kept them black and white, which is cool. I like black and white. Of course, my wife's first reaction was like, it's in black and white? Only black and white? After I finished these bookmarks. Anyway, let's, this is gold. I think this is a gold ink, 5.45. So, but still, $6? Less than $6, probably like $4 after conversion. $1 was pretty strong. Anyway, let's put those away. I kind of had to acquaint myself with these pens, right? These brush pens. And I used to, I used to love inking during Inktober, so I kind of got used to them because I just ink every day. But it has been a long time. I've been hustling, trying to get contract work jobs, so I haven't really had the luxury of drawing my own stuff. But that's the point, I think, of this video too. You need to make time to get luxury for your own stuff, especially now. I'm always kind of waffling with like this positive and negative emotions on what's going on with the art industry and tech. And basically AI can take everything that you draw and make its own, and people can just press a button, and then that's literally the make art button. What does that mean for me? I don't know. Sometimes I feel like John Henry Irons, not John Henry Irons. Sorry, that's Superman character. John Henry, the steel driving man, or whatever it's called. He's the guy who like made railroads with his bare hands, right? Like this was a tall tale. And he went up against the machine. He did his best and he did awesome. I think he kept up to pace with the machine, as the story goes, and he died. So sometimes I feel like I'm going to be that guy because I can't possibly keep up with a machine, right? Like generating art like this. Well, not like this, like art that I do for a living, right? So that's why I'm kind of like freelancing, lost my job a year ago, and now I'm doing freelancing work, and I'm trying to get this going. So the importance of this going is because it is mine. So when you guys are drawing your own stuff, it is yours. Like I kind of reached a point, like I said, I'm hitting 50. I kind of reached a point where I'm done doing fan art. I'm done doing fan art. I'm done posting it on social media. I'm done drawing other people's characters. I love other people's characters. I love Superman. I love all that mainstream stuff, but I am done drawing it because I need to draw mine. And if you guys are artists, you guys are watching this channel, I want to encourage you guys to draw yours, right? This is yours. This is mine. This is whatever you draw is yours. It's going to be all you. Right? You don't have to try to share anything with anybody. No one's going to tell you how to draw whatever. You can sell this, succeed or fail. Like same with me, right? Succeed or fail, it's mine. No one's going to take it from me. AI isn't going to take this stuff from me because this is mine, man. This is mine. How many times did I say this is mine? This is mine. This is yours. Well, not this is yours, but yours is yours. You get my idea. Anyway, so to start this off, I started doing sketches for what could potentially be there. And this is where I went off tangent and started practicing inking again. And the funny part is I wanted it to be a certain bookmark size that I found in this other book, and it's small. So it's kind of a big deal. So even though I thought this was small, this practice one, it is even smaller. So a bunch of the pens that I got from Japan are like these really nice tips. They're like, this one's a 0.2. Yeah. And then I have a 1, which is actually bigger than your regular one. And then I got like this awesome, I don't do inking with microns so much anymore, but I just had to get these. Where's the other one? There. Here we go. Where can you see it? Was it 0.15? 0.005. That's crazy times. Look at this. I think the camera is going to have a hard time trying to focus here because this thing, there you go. It's awesome. Look at this thing. And this is a 1. Comics Rant is starting to pen nerd out time here. Come on, camera, focus. You can't even do it. Here, maybe at least next to each other. You can kind of tell. And put it against this white. There. Look how small that is. This thing is nuts. I actually tried this in some of these bookmarks, but found some of it was just way too tiny. So I'm going to have to try to get back into these again too. But I began, so my first drawing, these are all sketches. So I think after I drew this one and this, I drew this like 5 million times and wasn't quite happy with it. The final drawing is not bad. It was, I was not thinking of including this. I thought I'd draw it another time, but then my daughter said like, oh, that's cute out of these 3. I'm like, all right, cute. All right, good reaction. Cute. Anyway, so this was one of the first ones I did out of like 4 trials here, so you can see. And then I was like, oh, that works. But it's still very labored, which is okay. That's what happens in the beginning, right? I'm trying to come out of the gates swinging and have like my drawings be perfect right away, which is not how brushwork usually happens. It's a certain flow. And then I think the second one was this one. So this, like, I was using like these microns, and it kind of reminds me of it. So this is where I was like, oh, okay, this is the kind of line that gives me, it's a certain look. It's a different look. It's not bad. I thought it's not bad. I mean, it's good enough to put into my sketch card giveaway. It's not bad. There is something going on here that I think I want to explore too. Like this, like very thin, they call in the animation industry anemic line. And, you know, mixed in with like some brushwork that I can kind of put body back into the lines. And then this was more kind of the same, but I think I was kind of catching my groove a little bit better here. And it's a mix of those microns. So it's kind of here. I should use the brush here, but the line still works. Works for me. I'm doing that feathering that I do in my superheroes versus robot book where it's a little bit more feathered. And I'm trying to find this style going on. So after I did these 3, I was like, nobody really wants bookmarks of me. Everybody wants bookmarks of my ninja wife. So next one, go back into the drawing board, and I've generated like these quick thumbnail sketches, which were super fun. It's kind of nice. So as I'm drawing on this page, this is scrap paper, right? Drawing on this page, I'm running out of space, and I think it helped me focus and concentrate on these thumbnails because they should be small. Otherwise, I'm just going to go in there. Look at how small this guy is. It really is a thumbnail. Just to get an idea down, and I don't know if you guys are the same, but I get lost in trying to be perfect right away. And really, I'm supposed to be jotting out thumbnails here. So here's another one over here. Here's her running. And like I was starting to come up with a squid one for one of the bad guys, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, this is what generated from there. So it's interesting to watch these drawings as I get more loose and get more comfortable with the medium. So this was, I think, the next one. Oh, wait, no, sorry. This was the next one. Okay, yeah. This was the next one. Yeah, pretty good already. It's funny, like all the drawings of me, I'm like, oh, not so happy with some of these. But I do like the drawings of my wife, my ninja wife, of Ninjette. This is the character's name, Ninjette. So it was this one, and then I think this one was one of the thumbnails I did. And then I had this one. And this one, I was like, whoa, some of this stuff is kind of super cool. It's not how I draw them here. But this character is lending itself to be stylized so easily. And I'm trying to move fast, right? Because these are sketch cards. That's the whole point. And I kind of liked it. You know, like there's this negative shape here. Or sorry. yeah, negative shape here that's happening that kind of just happened with the ink. And usually this sash is a color, right? This is a colored sash. I usually leave it white most of the time, even there. But this time, this is the one time I left it all black, and I signed my name in black, but most of these bookmarks are in white. So there's just certain thing that happened that my brain was like, you cannot do, the rule is you sign your name in white, it's in black, you leave a black space, blah, blah. And, not so geometric, and all that kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, no, the drawing needs to be like this. So that stuff is a lot of fun to find out. So after that, I was like, okay, these are better than the Rocket Guys stuff. So I need to make a comeback and do some good sketches. I may have overdone it a little bit, but I like these. These are pretty cool. So drummed up some more sketches for these. I was kind of thinking like, I'm going to run out of poses for these characters, but they're actually easy enough to draw for me. So I was a little bit more free and wasn't so tied into things. So the next drawing was this Killamari is the name of this character. Oh, it's blurry. There we go. It's Killamari. And this was fun. So I was kind of doing like these negative shapes again to kind of like make sure certain parts of the character wouldn't bleed too much into the black background. But I was kind of getting comfortable in adding black more. No, Arvin, really? Are you? All right. So anyway, so there's a lot more black, and I love just spotting in blacks. It's just fun. There's something very therapeutic about it. So here, I got a bigger black shape going on here. I am a whole lot more comfortable with drawing my character again. My daughter liked the way I did the shine, which is cool. They don't usually see me draw that much. They see my finished drawings, but it was nice to be able to share with them as I was drawing it. They're usually into a different style too anyway, so I'm not always pushing my drawings at them. But I will push my drawings on you, so hey, welcome. Anyway, bumped into the camera. So there's also like this alien character, which was more lighter in the book. But because I'm working in black and white, I feel like I need to go back in there and spot those blacks. And the last one was this one. And I definitely was a whole lot more comfortable. So I don't know if you're in Hayward, but this was the last one. And the artist personally felt like my cylinders were going finally after 12 drawings. But either way, I think I'm pretty happy with all of these and how they turned out. You go to cons and people have their own sketches, or people will sign the inside of their books. And I feel that I definitely stepped up the plate and gave something to the buyer, to the reader, something more, right? Like than just a comic book. So this I can definitely do, right? To make things special. And it kind of clicked into me that to at least to me, hand-drawn stuff is a lot more valuable. Well, especially if you go to cons. I don't think I talked about it, but I will, about my con experience here in South City. And people like sketches. Duh. They don't like comics so much, but they would like sketches. And sketches was an easy sell. Like one page you can sell for $10. And I can't even sell this for $6. There's like a ton of drawings in here. What's the difference? It's in full color. I don't get it. $6 or even $5. Like, I was trying to sell them. Maybe your stuff sucks, Arvin. Is that what you guys are thinking? But even other people at the con just have a hard time selling comics. People like single drawings. Nothing wrong with that, but I want to make comics. Anyway, that's it for this episode, and that's my journey trying to get this stuff for Cassa Jam in Fremont, California. It's open already. If you guys are around, drop by. Holy Matrimony is not there yet, but it will be very soon. They have a whole lot other stuff. Look it up online. They have some cool, they support all indie artists, so all indie artist books are there being sold. Local ones Let me emphasize that because I think that's super cool of Fernando to do. They also have like art classes and shows. I think they're showing Miyazaki movies, Kiki's delivery service for free. They really encourage the community to come together. So they'll hold like artist sketch drawings sessions at like a restaurant that I think the guy who owns the restaurant also is part of that session. The stuff that Fernando is doing always astounds me because it requires dealing with people. It requires dealing with people and, being just genuine person. This is Fernando. He's a very genuine person and he loves to encourage. And right here, he gave me an order for 12 copies, which is, who am I? I'm nobody. I'm nobody. But I'll be there. I'll have stuff in the store, and it's all because Fernando like reached out and said, hey, dude, could you help us out and sell some of your stuff? Anyway, that's it for Comics Rant this episode. I hope to see you guys next time. Probably more reviews, maybe more of this stuff, just for as I progress trying to pitch my own indie books. And have a good day.